we're really happy to welcome back Lomiko. Lomiko is at the heart of the critical metals exploration scene. It has its Labatte graphite project, which is in Quebec, and it also has its Boreal lithium project, also in Quebec. We're going to be joined by their CEO, Belinda Labatte, and also their Chief Operating Officer, Gordana Slepcev. Now, let me introduce them both one at a time. Belinda has more than 15 years of senior management experience in our industry, just 20 years of capital markets experience. Her most recent position was Chief Development Officer of Mendeley Resources. Prior to that, Belinda was the founder and the president of the Capital Lab, which was a leading Toronto-based consulting firm. She's fluent in French, Spanish, and German. She graduated from Rotman School of Management with an MBA, and she holds the ICD designation and is a CFA charter holder. She serves as an independent director of GCN Mining Corp and Star Royalties. As for Gordana Slepcev is a professional mining engineer with more than 25 years of global mining experience that spans multiple commodities, including gold, base metals, coal, and industrial minerals. She brings considerable experience in the mineral exploration, permitting, Indigenous relations, and project financing to Lomiko. Before joining the company, Gordana held the position of COO for BMSI, a privately held company, where she is responsible for restarting the barite reprocessing facility, where she mitigated historical environmental impacts and overseeing all the EPCM contractors. She's also formerly held the role of COO of Anaconda Mining, which is where I first met Gordana, where she was responsible for the company's operation and development of the Goldboro project. Welcome to both of you, Belinda and Gordana. Great to have you both on the Global Mining Symposium. How are you doing and where are you joining us from today?
We're both in Toronto today. So I was also at Mines and Money London, but came back.
Very good. I did see that. I saw you guys presenting there. So very good. How did you feel about the Mines and Money show? Things go well?
Yes, it was very busy. A lot of interesting meetings, a lot of people popping in and saying hello and bringing people back to hear our longer term vision and story. So I thought that was great. There's still a lot of information that needs to be relayed about what graphite is and what the opportunity is specifically in Quebec. So very happy to share that.
Fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to getting more of a deep dive from you and Gordana. So why don't I pass it over to the two of you, and I'll join you at the end for some questions.
Excellent. Okay. Can everybody see the screen here?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, excellent. Well, good day, everyone. Very happy to talk to you about our new vision and new strategy in new energy. And we do believe that we can create a world of abundant renewable energy, and we must with our own domestic Canadian critical minerals. We're listed on the TSXV and the OTC, as well as the Frankfurt Exchange. You're all very familiar with the forward-looking statements. You can see that we will be talking about forward-looking information in this presentation. I'd like to begin by talking about our land acknowledgement. And this is an important aspect of how we came together as a business, which is that we recognize that to increase the resource and augment the resource endowment in Quebec and in Canada, we must work closely with First Nations and Indigenous people. And so we acknowledge that the land and projects where we operate are located within the traditional land of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe. That would be our graphite project, La Loutre. And we are on Cree territory, the Iu-Iche people, for the Boreal lithium project. Our vision is to embrace Indigenous people and Indigenous values within our projects, and that is to develop a long-term sustainable approach to critical minerals development while honoring the lives, memories, and hopes of all 7 generations close. This statement was drafted by our independent director, Lee Arden-Lewis, who is herself from the Tyendinaga territory and Mohawk. What we are looking to do, and graphite is often looked at as this mysterious critical mineral, But we know that we can build a major new energy platform by developing our graphite assets. And we also have an early stage lithium project that we were earning into. And the key to doing this in southern Quebec is by putting people first. So our team came together wanting to make the move out of traditional mining of gold and silver, which is where Gordana and I both originated from in our last career, to responsibly accelerating these projects. What we bring to the table as a management team is three things, and I will talk about why graphite specifically. We develop projects to production, so we have both come from producing companies and revenue generating businesses. We want to move forward with a 46 million ton inferred resource and move that through into a PFS stage in 2023. And we're going to do that by being a responsible operator and an operator of choice in southern Quebec. So we are Eco-Logo certified. This is a very distinct, independent and transparent process that we went through with the Eco-Logo system in Quebec. We're one of 16 companies certified. And we are also unique in that we have a brand new board. Our team is also majority female and at the board level as well, with First Nations represented at the board. And as our strategic advisor, we have somebody from the Algonquin Anishinaabe territory. Positioning ourselves for wealth creation, Anthony, you talked earlier about, what does a store of value mean? And especially in this space, we believe that graphite is a store of value because we will be moving out of hydrocarbons. And the way to do that is in that one mineral that is the heaviest component of the anode battery. And so there is 10 to 30 times more graphite required in the battery than lithium, for example. And we know that the best place to explore and develop these assets is in the Grenville province, where our deposits are located. So the Lithium Greenfields project, Gordana will walk you through where we are with that. And I will move on. As you can see here, this is our team. We are 3 full-time managers who've come together as a team to develop Lomiko, and talk to you a little bit about the demand and supply fundamentals. So the key is that we're going to require much more graphite, and what you need is natural flake graphite. Crystalline is really the best type of deposit to be finding that natural flake graphite, which is the Grenville belt, and we will need at least a 20 times increase in that in order to develop that 50% of EV penetration, or that 50% penetration rate. The price, as you will see, is going to go up significantly as anode demand increases. So where we are specifically with graphite and the potential customer is to feed that into the Quebec EV supply chain. So we know that Quebec wants to see 1.5 million vehicles on the road that are electric by 2030. If we do the math, we know that we need for that 300,000 tons per year of graphite. Natural graphite, 95% carbon, that's 300,000 tons per year. We have the potential to achieve a 30% market share as we move our project forward, noting that this is still 50% short of the required capacity. So importing that battery with the heaviest component being graphite is not sustainable, and that is why we are so bullish on our deposit. Key here is that we have a timeline that would take us into production about 5 years. And you can see that that is right around the time when the market will see an undersupply of that graphite that we need. In the past, there has been no issues with demand because the market has been stable at about 1.4 million tons per year of graphite produced. But this is changing sheerly as a result of the electric vehicle revolution that we are in. And so we are positioned very well to capture this value increase. What Gordana is going to talk about next is our regional diversification strategy, which is all in the Grenville belt, and operations. So Gordana, over to you.
Thank you, Belinda, Antonio, and all attendees. I'm really happy to be here today. There are quite a few things that we have added up to our portfolio, including 6 new deposits in the Granville Belt. As you can see on these diagrams in the light green, those are the areas that we've been staking new claims, looking into about almost 15,000 hectares of the new ground that we staked just recently. Those include the Lac des Pierres, Lac Tremblant, Rousseau, Boyd, Meloche, and North Low. In addition to our La Loutre, we have expanded our own land package to include some of the areas that we think are very prospective and have been discovered with the previous exploration in the area. All this work would be funded with flow-through financing. We actually intend to start the works in early June. Our La Loutre flagship project is close to Montreal, about 200 kilometers northwest, and as Belinda mentioned, is in Granville province, which is very prospective for graphite deposits. And Belinda talked a little bit about deficit in supply, which is gonna show up in the next 4 to 5 years as we move with electric vehicle adoptions and decarbonization of our economies. Belinda also mentioned on the beginning of the presentation that we have significant resource base between indicated and inferred resources. We're looking somewhere about 70 million tons on average grade 4.2% carbon for total about 3 million tons in situ graphite. The PA that was issued last year in July really did provide for the good base that this new team can build on. We're looking into 15 years mine life producing about 100,000 tons of the graphite per year. Something else that we're really pleased about is that the recoveries are exceptional with the grades of the concentrate being somewhere about 97.5 to 98.6%. We actually have built on that with the most recent metallurgical testing, which we published about a few weeks ago. We're really pleased that we have seen some of the results coming at the purification over 99.95% purity. The base for the project and the footprint is fairly small. We have worked with Bitosenko group of the companies to develop this footprint, which consists of 2 main zones, EV and battery zones. And also something that we've been looking here is to co-dispose waste and waste rock and tailings, and don't have really classic tailings storage facilities. So no slurry lines, no spilling, and no impacts on the water. So minimizing anything that we can do on environment and water that actually is flowing to some of the other lakes in the area, like most of the Canada anyway. So something else that we're looking to do here is classic open pit truck and shovel operation, 4,200 ton per day plant with the strip ratio waste to ore of 4:1. We've been working with the of course, the local communities and First Nations, engaging with stakeholders and moving understanding of the project and the impacts. We also been working with Himera group of the companies on collecting the baseline data as we intend to register this project somewhere in the fall or the spring next year, depending on how fast we can get some of the results from the baseline studies. Also, something that we have started working is our infill drill program. We're actually now on the hole number 4. Everything's going well. We've been impacting a little bit with the storm that actually hit Ontario and Quebec, a lot of fallen trees, but everything's fine, everybody's safe, or we're proceeding with our exploration program. The big goal of this exploration program is, as we mentioned, we have 46 million tons of our resource that's in inferred category. That's what we're looking to do here, is upgrade inferred resources into measured and indicated with this infill program. The infill program is looking at a total about 120 holes, about 18,000 meters between battery and EV zones. So I mentioned before some of the testing that we did on 2021 concentrate. The results are really exceptional on the initial test. We're really encouraged with purification testing and all other key physical and chemical properties so far, with a very well balanced size distribution, degree of graphitization being over 98%, really low levels of volatiles for all size fractions and low spring back. The oxidation resistance of the larger flakes was excellent and was really good also for the smaller flakes as well. Something to note to investors and attendees is that the graphite is sold based on the flake sizing. So bigger flakes are usually sold to industrial applications like refractories, crucibles, frictions, expanded graphite, fire protection, even plastic and ceramics. Those are new applications. And then the smaller flakes, minus 100 mesh, are sold into battery applications, EVs, computer, cell phones, and storage applications as well. So what we're doing next is we actually have collected about 1,000 kgs of the core from Labatte. We have sent that to SGS for a bigger test program that's currently underway. We expect results in the second half of 2021. As you can imagine, all this testing a long time to complete. So what we are planning to do with this is actually to confirm the flow sheet for the plant at Labatte, the work that's been done in the PEA. We really want to confirm those results. And also we want to create some of the flotation concentrate that could be used for further value-added studies and for spherical graphite testing. Something else that we've been working on is market investigation. We have hired a consultant to work and develop our technical data sheet. Some of the work that's been done on 2021 concentrate is already being incorporated in those sheets, and we're looking to approach some of the off-takers and secure some of the off-taking agreements as we move forward. So we are fully financed for the works we're doing now, which is resource drilling. We have raised $2.1 million in December last year, and we have raised 1.6 in the hard dollars. So at this point, we're proceeding with the resource drilling, metallurgical testing, and baseline environmental studies. Something else that we're looking to raise the money is for the mining, resource estimate, mine plan, geotechnical, infrastructure, plant design, waste facility design, and other works on pre-feasibility study. Pending, of course, the raise, we would be looking to publish PFS sometimes mid-2023. What is really important to mention here, and what is really opportunity for investor, is that we have used 916 as a graphite selling price. We have come up with a very good post-tax NPVs at 8% discount at 186 million and 21.5% post-tax IRR. This being said, the current prices, as we have received the info from benchmark, about $1,000 US per ton, that's giving us an increase of 50 million without any additional work and better, of course, IRRs. What is really important to mention is with acquisition of the Northern Graphite to the Imerys, they actually have published their own selling prices. They're looking down about 1681, 1700 US dollars per ton. If you use that price, which is also the price that most of the other graphite developers that are further ahead than Lomiko are using, we would be looking into post-tax NPV of 600 million. This is really something that's unheard of, 50% IRR. So there is a huge opportunity for investors that come early and help us out develop this project and move Labatte into PFS stage.
Okay, Gordana, I'm going to have to ask you to wrap up as we're already 3 minutes over. And Yeah.
So just a few points on Labatte project. We're just moving with exploration program. We're discussing that with critical elements and GoalSpot AI. We're working in this great Nemaska lithium camp. Belinda, if you can move to the next. That's actually something that's really interesting from the work last year. We have discovered these lithium, cesium, tantalum anomalies that we believe they connect to the Lamar showing, which is also owned by critical elements. So we think that big trend continues down south and continues north. It's 2.5 kilometer long trend that we're looking to explore this summer.
Thank you, Gordana. I'm going to stop sharing here and see if there's any questions.
Great, thanks, Belinda. Yeah, time for we are over, but just to get one quick one in. The federal budget on the critical metals incentives. Can you talk us quickly? Let us know what that impact means for you. We had Pierre Graton from the Mining Association of Canada saying it exceeded his expectations. What was your company's expectations, and what does it mean for Lomiko in terms of attracting more investment and getting this project further developed?
Yeah, I thought it was great that there's a recognition that we need to be accelerating our work here. And what I thought was also impressive is, although at the beginning we didn't know how to approach or who to approach for the grants, very quickly the message came down to us as to who to contact to get some of these grants going and understand what the opportunities are. So I find that to be a very nice responsive change in terms of how we can access some of this needed funding, particularly as it relates to bringing Indigenous communities on the journey. And that is such a key part of our vision to work with First Nations. That's the first place that we want to go and look for some assistance. And we're going to do that with or without the grants.
Excellent. Excellent. Great to hear. Yeah, I'm glad you picked up on Belinda, because there was then the earmarked specifically 25 million just on Indigenous relations. And I know you said it right at the beginning with the people relations being core to Lomiko value. I can see a connection there. One quick one from the audience. Does Lomiko have any interest in graphite and other lithium assets outside of Canada, or is that something you would entertain?
I would say we would entertain it over time, but as you know, a company of our size, we need to focus our resources on what we have and developing what we have in the region, because scale is just so key to the graphite business. The more we can build a strategic stockpile of an absolutely essential mineral in an area and be, you know, known as an operator of choice and a responsible operator, that's the first priority. But I think that it's such an opportunity beyond, you know, as we grow to look at outside of Canada.
Excellent. Belinda, Gordana, thank you so much for joining us at the symposium. We wish you continued success throughout the year.
Thank you. Be happy to be participating.
Excellent. Well, we love having you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Take care, both of you.